Hello audience, I got a few points to make today on video number 6, follow up on my commentary on uh, the Matrix movie, Dissected and Unloaded. So it'll be few points today, and then the next video will be continuation of commentary on the movie. So I'm gonna explain a few points here, so bear with me. Okay, so in this picture, you will see that Neo is by himself. The bridge, as I said, is a confined place, perhaps a cave, perhaps something that he is going to have to cross, transition from one world into another. So the world beyond the waterfall is where the demons dwell, and the world behind the camera is where people are, and that's the Matrix. So here, if you look, there is a red light reflection on the pavement because there's water, right? But that's leading to him. So, and he is standing alone, right? Nobody else is here. When you cross this bridge from one dimension into another, well, it's in this world, really, right? So there's no vaporization, if you will. So that's him. They're saying he's a devil, right? And next to him, he's smothered or edged by a blue color, right? And then here, you will see the green color here. So the bridge is also, it's a confinement, but it's also a transition from one world into another. That may also mean those wormholes, as I explained them when they show on the screen, you know, gibberish numbers and A's and research and so on. So they're crossing from one world into another. That's pretty much the same thing, is what they're saying. So here you see the clothes. Every time they're outside of their lair, of their hideout, or their whatever that dimension is, you see them wearing black clothes. Black is reminiscent of Judaism, or attire of Jews or rabbis or something of the sort. So they all are wearing like much better clothes than they do when they're back in the in their hideout, in their run down or squalid hiding places. Something similar to Fagin in Charles Dickens, uh, uh, Oliver Twist. You know, his hideout like got a lot of money and things like that, but it's run down and it's a squalor and it's a squalid place to be at. Uh, so, so that's that on the clothes. Lipstick, you know, she has lipstick. Everybody has lipstick. This may be the term for cloned and cloning. In this book here, this sickly book, this book from hell, he mentions something about being sexless. So the world that Rabbi Morpheus is aspiring to achieve, or fighting hard, regardless of ways and means, you know, ends justify means for him. He wants to arrive at a point where clones are sexless, right? It's just they're cloned. They're no longer sex. There's no longer sex. And as you will observe in this movie, there's no sex really at all, as typical in other movies as well. So you would see that also in Aldous Huxley. And in that song, you will pick your son or daughter from a glass tube. Aldous Huxley in Brave New World, he describes such thing. So the clothes, whenever they're outside, they're wearing nice clothes, but they're black, right? You know, only they wear those other torn and ragged clothes in their hideout. When you see in the movie, when you see the wire as in the incubation pod attached or inserted into Neo's, the clone's mouth and the baby's mouth, that is control of the food. You will see it later when they're all sitting on the table and they're eating runny eggs or a bowl of snot or something of the sort. So the food is controlled as well. You're not going to eat steak as Cypher would when he's in the Matrix. This seat here is Neo himself, right? You may find it hard to believe. Again, I'm only speculating, but I bet money that's what this is here. I would bet $1 on it being this here. There's like hair, as if there's hair, and uh, a torn leather seat, and I think that's what they mean by it. It's Neo or whatever that is. I think that means Neo. Okay, here, as you can see, the TV, as I mentioned earlier, the TV is watching you per that book. And we know now that TVs and telephones and computers and everything around you watches you as well as the unseen entities or demons. But here, the TV itself is watching you. Uh, as you can see, there's the pyramid and then there's the eye in the middle, right? And then there's deep image, AMAWA. Or if you look at it upside down, because this is an upside down image of masonry, right? So the pyramid and the eye is Freemasonry. There's VMV. I don't know what that means if you want to read it down, like upside down, because you have to flip the pyramid here to get it upright and for the representation. There's 10 and there's 10. I don't know what that means, but deep image. So Freemasonry is what they're trying to say. There is there's like full 100% thorough, detailed observation and watch of what's going on here and of Neo as well. So here, Morpheus, or shapeshifter Rabbi, says they were dependent on solar power. As I explained in the previous video, that's what they mean by the solar disk is, like Satan himself and so on. So apparently what that means is, I'm trying to do some guesswork here again, is that they were connected to solar power and he was feeding them with society, rules, and religion, and how we live in society, right? So that comes from him. They believe that he is the one. I know that's not what it is, right? But when they disconnected from solar, right, from the sun,
solar power, and it was believed that they would be unable to survive without an energy source as abundant as the sun.
meaningly now they're on their own. If you recall, Rabbi Mel Gibson in the movie Signs, when he was talking to Joachim Phoenix, I think, and he told him, we're all on our own, right? We're on our own. So that's what really this tells you, is that they're on their own. But when God, or I don't believe that he is the Son, right? SUN. When they disconnected from God and they started fighting against him, they have no energy, no knowledge. They cannot even write a rule. All that they have in their hands now is really taken from Islam and twisted, of course. So they are unable to generate what is generated through prophets and God. So here you're going to see things change into from blue to red, right? So
Is not without a sense of
I think that means either fire or blood, is either one of the two.
endless fears, but human beings are no longer born. For the longest time, I wouldn't believe it, and then I saw the fields with my own eyes.
So he saw it with his own eyes. Now I really wanted to take this movie as a science fiction, or what I read in their twisted and deranged books of simulacra and simulation, and Thus Spake Zarathustra, and other books as well. But now he's saying he saw it with his own eyes. Rabbi Morpheus did see it with his own eyes. I am confused whether to believe the man or the shapeshifter or not. I really am. But now I want to believe him. Who is he talking about? I don't know. I think these fields and whatever they are, those giant machines and drones, not drone, but drones, of uh, fertilization and cloning, and he says he saw it. So I'm gonna take that on a limb and say I'm gonna believe it too. Hence, Morpheus is going to be accountable for all that.
What is the Matrix? Control.
He switched it off. When he said the Matrix, he switched off the TV, which has the pyramid and the eye within it, right? Uh, so he just switched it off. What he's trying to say is that they live outside of the Matrix. They have their own thing, if you will, their own world. That's the one they transitioned under the bridge, and they protected him from water by way of being in a limo or a continental car, right? So supposedly here they're trying to make him understand what the masonry is or something of the sort. I assure you he's already in there.
The Matrix is a computer-generated dream.
I have a problem with that now. He says the Matrix is a computer-generated dream world. Then he just told him that he saw the fields, endless fields of grown fetuses fed by the dead and with his own eye, right? And now he's saying it's a dream world. I have a problem with that statement.
The Matrix is a computer-generated dream built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
Okay, now I have a problem with this. Let me show you where the problem is. The copper top battery, right? I did some explanations on that, but I'll show you something that is really contradicting, comes in repudiation. This man, Morpheus, or this creature, Morpheus, has just repudiated what the movie is stating. So, as I explained earlier about the sites here, there is that creature with wings sitting on top of the earth, and then there's that shroud-covered, headless torso or corpse that is sitting up against the wall, and then there is that also, another statue, as you can see here. It's a headless figure, is also positioned or attached to the wall. However, it does appear as if it is standing atop of this electrical machine, of which wires are going inside, right? Inside that room, feeding Morpheus. This is the copper top battery, as they're saying. This is the headless torso, copper top, right? And that's the machine. He's a machine now generating electricity or whatever else is generating, as I speculated on. That is going to Morpheus, right? So there goes the hypocrisy. Morpheus is talking about the Matrix, trying to change him into a copper top, where he's headless now, but he feeds, guess what? He feeds the Zion, right? He feeds Zion with whatever he has, energy, cryptocurrency, dollars, you name it, right? He becomes really a source, like a battery to Zion. Not to the Matrix, as I see he's saying here right now, but the Matrix at the same time, he is showing the Matrix, which he is implied to be here, masonry. He is also sitting in there, in that edifice. So Matrix is an imaginary thing, right? Masonry is imaginary. The important point here, when you hear masonry, whatever it is, it's imaginary. There's nothing there. There is Zion that is using the Matrix or masonry to recruit people and make them headless, right? And decapitate them and clone them and all. Blah, 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 blah. So, I'm going to repeat the same point again.
Facing the pure, unrefined precision, I came convinced of the obviousness of the truth. What is the Matrix?
What is the Matrix? He wanted to know what the Matrix is. Now he's going to answer him.
Control.
So Morpheus, Matrix, as I showed you in a little bit earlier, a few minutes ago, from the back of the TV, it's a pyramid with an eye on it, right? So that's masonry, is what we're seeing here. However, Notice the gesture.
What is the Matrix?
Morpheus controls the matrix or masonry. He switches it off at will, right? And as you can see, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know what 8 is. You got all kind of things here. But masonry or matrix is controlled by Neo, and it's imaginary, as he explained to him. He just switched it off. It's a deep image. Deep image. It's just an image. That's what masonry is. What's beyond masonry is really Zion. Uh, Genuine children of Zion, as he explains, right? Uh, as they say later. And you there, you're a clone, cuttings, uh, eat snot, ball of snot, everything about you, everything you think, everything you do, everything you output, everything you produce, everything you do, everything you speak is controlled by Morpheus. And by the time you're atrophied and begin to feel old and not able to perform as they expect, they kill you. That's what Cypher said at the start of the movie.
Control.
There you go. He switched it off. This masonry is imaginary. It's something that is controlled by Morpheus, Rabbi Morpheus shapeshifter. Now notice the look on Neo's face. Even though he's a clone, he still have brain, right? So now he realizes he is in a predicament. He is in trouble. He's like they say sometimes in deep doo-doo, right? He realizes that he's trapped in some real bad situation. You know, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
The Matrix is a computer-generated dream.
Yeah, it's a dream world. That's what masonry is. It's a computer-generated dream world. I sometimes drive here around here in Chicago, and I notice there are like lodges and so on. There is not one time when I walked around those or drove by those Masonic lodges without feeling that these lodges are not occupied and they're uninhabited, and they're there just to for deception purposes. Only a couple of times I saw one guy one time run into the Masonic lodge in a certain little town here where I live, next to where I live, and another time there was some kind of a lecture in front of it, you know, someone making a speech. But I always knew those lodges are just basically fixtures, like dead dolls or something of the sort. They are there to lure you in. That's what Rabbi Morpheus just said. It's dream world. He switched it off. It's meaningless. So now we arrive at a very critical and crucial point. Neo has just realized that the Matrix is bullshit, right? He was trapped into something else that is really awful, sinister, and bad. Who describes it best? You have to know how to read this evil book. So now notice.
Built to keep us under control in order to change the human being into this.
That's right. Freemasonry to keep you under control and change you into a headless, corpse that generates sperms and stuff for Rabbi Morpheus. That's all. He just told him what he has been through all along, with very few statements. And notice the sunglasses are reflective now. Morpheus, now Neo is showing in those sunglasses. What they're trying to say with that is that it was your decision. Remember, Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino, I think the movie is called Devil's Advocate. When he says like but you know, like at the end of the movie, but he has to choose, right? Keanu said, but I have to choose or make that decision. Said it's a free will. They cannot. He Morpheus cannot force you to do that.
No.
He has to seduce you and abuse you and deceive you and all that stuff.
It's impossible. I didn't say it would be easy. I just said it would be the truth. Stop.
That's the truth. Yeah, he told him, but he didn't tell him. He hinted at him, but he's dumb enough. Well, he tricked him. Let's say it so to speak.
Let me out. Let me out. Come on out.
Now Neo realizes he's where he is, and he wants out, but he sees there's no way out. But I saw something here. If you look closely at his hands and his shoes, I don't know if that is something that is intentional or resultant from light reflection or whatnot. Notice his hands and the soles of his shoes, the under soles of his shoes. Whenever he raises his foot, there's a reflection or emission of blue light. Notice the blue. Notice, notice the shadow of his shoe, as if he's not walking on earth or something. It's blue, meaningly that he's controlled now. He just can't move anywhere. But he's back where he's caught. That's it, you know. So now I have a different tack on or different understanding of the 100 years. I speculated earlier. I'm still speculating, but I think what I have now in mind as a clarification for the 100 years is better. Is a better explanation, more plausible.
Is when you believe it's the year 1999.
That's when he was put to sleep, when Neo was decapitated or made permanently a or vegetative state or in a coma, right? It was 1999. It's in fact closer to 2199.
Closer to 2199. I can't.
What that means, I think that's what that means, is that when Neo fell into their trap, as they convinced him, talking about Matrix and so on, and they surprised him by the Matrix being nothing. Now, of course, when Neo was put to sleep, when his brain was destroyed, and he was made a veggie, right? And they began to siphon his sperms. Let me show you that scene. So I showed you that they gotten rid of his seed, the one that they consider evil, and now they're taking his seed, his sperms, right, by way of teleporting or collider or something of the sort, right? And here, they're taking his sperms. You can see it on the screen here, followed by another, right?
Location target almost there.
Going into arrest.
Lock, I got him. Now tank, now. Tank. We're going.
So you see, this is sperm number 1, and then there is sperm number 2, right? There's sperm number 1 and sperm number 2.
You believe
So-
it's the year 1999.
So they started siphoning off or extracting his sperms one at a time. Not one sperm is wasted, right? And then it's 1999 is when that began, and now it's 2199. So that's what I believe in. That's what I believe this stands for. Is that Neo has been on the table in a vegetative state, probably rotting away, except his reproductive organs, and they're siphoning off his sperms. And this is a typical situation, meaningly Morpheus and other Morpheuses too, Rabbi Morpheuses, right? They talk to they say the same thing to that clone, which is now Neo, this Neo.
Closer to 2199.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back. This particular bar here is really a fire poker, is what I think it is, a fireplace poker. A fireplace poker, and then you saw in the room where Morpheus was, and where he administered the poisonous pill to Neo, there was a fireplace, right? And I told you from my knowledge and observations, fireplace is where apparently Morpheus dwells, and they prostrate down to the fireplace and right. But now Neo here is apparently entrenched or confined himself to his hideout or his cozy corner, sitting in his room, doing his computers, blah blah, and they're here to poke him out, right? They're here to poke him out, as I explained in an earlier video about his eye. They're making an assumption that he's the devil and so on, and whatnot, right? Neo Nebuchadnezzar, the big one from Babylon in Iraq, modern Iraq today. So what that means, is that they're trying to ferret him out or push him out of his cozy corner, his seat of strength. He doesn't really venture outside. He's fine with what he's doing, calculations, blah 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 blah, right? Working, making money, being good to his family, and so on and so forth. So that's what that is. Now I have a better handle on it. I believe it's a poker, and then they're trying to poke him out of the fireplace, right? Similar to what I mentioned about fishing.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That's what you talk about when you. This is from Arabic. Halhala. Halhala means you're saying La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah. It's called halhala, and it made its way to English as hallelujah, right? So he is my personal Jesus Christ. What he did is give them the 1967. It's a disc 67, right? He gave them the 1967. So they're now, he's their savior, right?
My Savior, man. Non-personal Jesus Christ. You get caught using.
All right. So now I'm going to show you something about.
This never happened. I'm not sure if you're awake or still dreaming. All the time. It's called.
So, like I said, the lipsticks may indicate they're sexless, as mentioned by Rabbi Jan or Jean Brody Yard.
It's the only way to fly.
Only way to fly, right? Who flies, man?
It just sounds to me like you need to unplug, man.
And unplug from, they're trying to ferret him out, pull him out, extract him from his hideout, from his confinement of personal space and so on. That's when he becomes weakened. When he's outside, he flies out. That's when they grab him.
Get some more R&R?
R&R, you know what that is. Recreation and refresh or something of the sort. I forgot what the exact words for it is. Okay, so du jour, I think being legal or something. It's supposedly a French word, right? Du jour. But du jour, it hit me earlier that we have something similar in Arabic called dayjour. Not du jour, but dayjour. Dayjour is darkness. Dayjour is darkness. Opposite to it is nur or enlightenment. Now, sometimes they come for light and darkness, real light and darkness, but there are different terms for those. Here, what this, I believe, means dayjour is darkness, really. Opposite to it is nur, N-O-U-R, or N-O-O-R, which is enlightenment versus darkness, right? You're in an enlightened place or darkened in darkness. Or you're in an enlightenment or darkness is what I believe dayjour means.
Definitely.
I can't. I have work to do.
So she seems to be the boss here, dayjour or du jour. He asked her, shall we take him with us? She agreed, proceed with the job, take him.
All right. It'll be fun. I promise.
So I mentioned something about Lewis Carroll, right? Alice in Wonderland, and the White Rabbit. But in his novel, The White Rabbit really signifies, I got a little bit confused with that. The White Rabbit here signifies maybe a white girl, right? But she's also the devil, dayjour, darkness. I thought the white was upstairs and black was downstairs. So that's the White Rabbit across the hall from you. And once you tumble down the rabbit hole, the rabbit is really Morpheus here. He is the devil, supposedly. But they portray him as a white rabbit. And they portray Alice as a beautiful little girl. And then she's falling down the rabbit hole. It's covered up. The story of Alice in Wonderland is covered up similar to The Matrix or Masonry as Morpheus explained it. He just switched it off, right? As he pleases. So it's a tool. So But what Neo heard so far, until his demise, right, was all obfuscated terms and stories and spin zone. He was put in a spin zone and, mesmerized and hypnotized. So he really never gotten anything real, right? Whenever he asked a question, he was his inquiries or questions were deflected, right? So you go up after this guy, you're in a lot of trouble. Motherfucker. I hate to put it this way. Maybe you don't see it, but this here, I am sorry. What's their name? Moss? It's not you, but it's how you illustrated here, you're portrayed, you know? I kid you not, this is the head as it's, the way the hair is arranged and, the looks and so on. That's the head of the devil. You just have to put a couple of horns here. A demoness. This is a demoness.
I know a lot about you.
How do I know? If you look here, let me pause it. If you look here, there's a lady or a woman or a girl with a couple of horns, right? Two horns, two little horns. And at one point here, she glimpses at the camera. Notice. Here, if you slow it down, you will see it. She glimpses, or it glimpses at the camera. Therefore, she is looking at the camera, or the camera is standing where Trinity is. There you go. You just have to superimpose the two together, and then you get your demon is here. The daughter of the devil, maybe. I don't know. Remember the eagles? He wants to marry the daughter of the devil himself. Also, I called this place a number of things, right? But this place here, I think that's what they term as hell, right? That's probably what it is. I think here he's in hell. Maybe mentally, I don't know. Or they're trying to drag him down into hell. This is where it is, supposedly. That's where, according to them, hell is fun and dancing and green colors and blue colors and fornication and adultery and drinking and smoking and what not. Opposite to what human really is. Now I want to make a point about people here being portrayed as demons. This is a common hidden belief, right? Secret, right? There are secrets. So you got those Shiites, you got those Alawis, you got those whoever they are, right? The Byzantine Church, Orthodox. You got the Protestant. What's his name? Martin Luther, Rabbi Martin Luther. Oh yes, he's a rabbi. And so on. They believe that humans here fallen. They're all fallen angel or devils, right? There was a testimony by a certain sect in southern France in the Pyrenees called the Cathars, right? When one of them declared to the other that, that they're all devils. She was talking about us. I am not one of those, right? That they're all devils. They're just dressed up as humans and so on and so forth. So there was testimony. If you look hard enough in literature and old history and so on, you'll find it. That this belief that was created maybe 1,000 to 1,200 years ago, and it's spreading like by force, including Masonry as well. They believe that all of us humans on this earth are really fallen angels or devils or something of the sort. That's not true. So here, you'd see on the buildings a number of logos. As I explained, the metacortex, there's AAP here. I really don't know what AAP. I never seen a company called AAP. Could be something. I don't know. I really don't know. There's 12 here. I don't know. But now metacortex is controlled behind the within the skull, behind the head. It's that hole behind the skull. That is 12 metacortex, right? So the cortex, as I explained, and there's meta behind. How do they control him? Here they show it as something like this. Give me a second. Okay, let me show you the metacortex here. That's the metacortex. He's holding that now. That's attached to the back of his head. That's where they control the brain. He being a clone, of course. Or artificial insemination. So that's the metacortex right here. Here's the metacortex again. That's it, 12. 12 teeth, like a gear, looking like a gear. But the 12 teeth, as I explained earlier, is really the 12 tribes of Israel. That's always the case. In earlier videos, I said agents of Morpheus. I meant to say agents of, I said agents of Neo, but I really meant to say agents of Morpheus. So the agents are those of Morpheus. I mentioned earlier the lighting was bad, but if you see it here, if you look here, the eyes have those cat-looking eyes. It's reflecting here. That's the white shirt as well as the tie of Neo, right? Now, what's reflected on those sunglasses is really something like eyes of the devil. What they're trying to say is that that's what Neo is. Notice here, the eyes look like those of a human. So he's talking to the human person now. And he is what's supposedly be in this world, not in a different dimension. And also he's wearing green jacket. Green jacket being a Muslim? Well, I am a Muslim too. So hey, that's me in Chicago now. That makes me famous. Or is it really? I'm becoming popular, but sometimes I see that I am not.
This company is one of the top software companies in the world because every single employee understands that they are part of a whole. Thus, if an employee has a problem, the company has a problem.
Have a nice day.
So I have something to say here, but I am not sure really. Again, I'm speculating.
Hello, Neo. You know who this is.
I want to speculate and say that the back of his head is not that of Keanu Reeves or Neo himself. But I don't know. I could be wrong. So here you're going to see a number of briefcases. I speculated earlier about this briefcase being his information. Maybe his dossier, his file, his documents, his record, his all that observation about him. But it could also be his money, his accounts. Maybe the guy, being he what he is getting paid by far more than he knows, and they're siphoning off this money. Or it could be the energy out of his head, meaningly they're generating Bitcoin. Bitcoin, you know, that Israeli BUTT coin, the cryptocurrency, out of his head. You never know, right? So you see a number of briefcases, not just one. So this guy just basically stole the money and his signature and whatnot, and now they're going to get paid on his account illegitimately, right? Again, you can see the eyes and the reflection of like devil type eyes, right? Right here. Okay, I want to show you something about the capital city, what I think it means. And again, you see the eyes. Come close to the screen, and then you will see the eyes, right? The reflection on Angel or Agent, the 21, Agent Smith here, right? Who is a heavenly figure, right?
The other.
Okay, on the passport, it says capital city, right? Capital city USA. What does that mean? I don't know what that means, capital city. But capital sometimes mean the seat of rule. So either he comes from the seat of rule, like Babylon, angels, and then God and heavens and so on. So that's what I think it means. It means uh, wherever there is a throne of rule, uh, or Babylon, maybe it means Babylon, where Nebuchadnezzar was. Uh, I don't know. What is that entity they're talking about? Nebuchadnezzar, right? Do they mean with it like this big, really entity, the primal entity, or a primordial entity, or God, or somebody else? But it's not Zion, it's not Rabbi Morpheus, it's not the fireplace, is what they mean by that, I think. Being American citizen, so that brings me into the picture again. I'm trying to put myself into this film, this movie. I just can't for some reason. Again, they're stealing a lot in his name. You never know. Cryptocurrency, money paid by heavens, whatever. By voice, mimicking his voice, by his signature, by. Zion is making a kill. Not that they need any more money, but guess what? To destroy the others through by way taking their money is ways and means. So as you can see, I mentioned the drugs banner, which appears briefly and then disappears, right? I think that may mean poison, possibly, but really I think they want to destroy the seed that that Neo had already in him, right? Or he had like a child or something of the sort. So unable to speak, I also have a different explanation for that. One is, that what they think as Babylonian primordial being that comes and talks to human beings through prophets between now and then, that's what they're thinking, right? Now they want to make sure that he doesn't spread the word of goodness and humanity again. So they're surrounding him, right? Uh, and that's what I think that means, if you're unable to speak. So when he liberates people by way of message and prophets and so on, they don't like that, being people being freed, because now they cannot use them as they use Neo for cuttings and cloning and utilization and killing and so on. And now they're making sure he doesn't spread the word to liberate humans from the predicament and from the prison, perpetual prison they're in as slaves for Morpheus. So again, energy could be generating money and crypto and whatnot. So there is no mercy by Morpheus. You want to go there? Guess what's going to happen? Uh, as you saw so far. This commentary will continue, but I want to show you something first. Okay, I'm going to put this clip on a different video, so the whole video won't be deleted if there are copyrights on this particular movie. So the next video, or video number 7, will be a very short video on this clip, which confirms to what I'm talking about here, and perhaps a proof as well. So have a nice day. This is video number 6. Next video is coming up shortly.